Hi, thank you for being part of all this. The idea was on Sunday to do something Trinitarian, something that recognised the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and something that was something we could receive. And so I looked at the prayer in Ephesians where Paul prays to the Father, and he prays that we may be strengthened with power by the Spirit, and he prays that we might know more of the love of Christ that passes knowledge, which is a fascinating phrase. I think that idea of knowing in a just a deep personal sense that passes our intellect is just so helpful when it comes to the love of God. To be experiencing it, knowing it, being assured of it, and so powerful. And we talked about how wide the love of God is and how it includes all of us, how it includes me, how it includes you, and how it includes everybody else. And that so often we can define ourselves by excluding others. And the church, unfortunately, has consistently done that. Most of the creeds were written against someone, to exclude someone. And while that can be helpful on a theological basis, so that we know what we don't believe, actually it's not very helpful on a loving basis, because we want to be those people who are welcoming, warm, inclusive, and helping others to develop their full potential. So we follow a God who has a wide love, and that's so important to remember, that we can't unite around the negatives. We can't build relationships by pushing down other people. That we can't be a church that excludes folk, because that really doesn't reflect the wide love of God. And then there's the long love of God that we celebrate whenever we talk about great is your faithfulness, and the way that God has loved us consistently from the cradle to the grave, how his love is new every morning, and his mercies never come to an end, that there's a consistency and a longevity in the love of God that is despite what we do, despite where we stray to, and it's just so valuable for us as we think about the covenanted, committed, loyal, long love of God. And then there's the high love of God that takes us perhaps to ecstatic places where otherwise maybe we wouldn't go, when we just get caught up in the love of God and overwhelmed by the sense of his presence, overwhelmed by his affirmation and his appreciation, where the love of God just goes through us, and we just have this experience of the love of God, this high, if you like, and it's such a powerful thing. And Paul prays that we might know the height of the love of God and the depth, that it would go really deep. And that was something around the orphan sermon, which I hope you found helpful last week, where we talked about how God heals our hearts, how God heals our brokenness, how we allow him to go deeper as we take down the walls and allow his love to break through. And then to finish it, we can think back to the beginning of that bit where it's rooted and grounded in love, and this tree reaching up to the heights, reaching wide where people can come and shelter, and being pushed down into the earth depth. So I just hope you have a good time as you talk about the love of God for you tonight. I can't imagine that you won't, but make the most of it, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye bye.